Hi guys, Shouvik here. Welcome back to YouTube channel. So today we will solve another question from Leetcode itself. So let's get started. Yes, so today we have these problems. Leetcode 2434 using a robot to print the lexicographically smallest string. So this problem tagged as a medium, and I feel so it's kind of a medium hard difficulty for sure. Yeah. So on the problem statement, they have given a string S and a robot that currently holds an empty string T. Now apply one of the following operations until S and T are both empty. Until S and T are both empty. So what we can do? So S is already a given string and T is an empty string. So on input they have given the input string S only. So T you can consider as an empty string. Now what you can do? Remove the first characters from string S and give it to the robot So what you can do, remove the first characters from string S and give it to the robot. The robot will append these characters to the string T. Now robot can append the characters from string T. Now remove the last characters from string T and give it to the robot. The robot will write these characters on paper. Like this way, you have to find the lexicographically smallest strings that can be written on the paper. So if I am going to write these two lines in a kind of like simple English, like simple diagrammatical format. So we have, am I able to write it? No man, not allowing. Now, no. So S is a given string. Let's suppose A, B, C, D, E, and T is initially empty, and we have to build the answer strings that we have to write it to our paper. Now, what we can do? So we can do, give me 1 minute guys. So you can copy, let's suppose some of the characters, maybe A, B, C. Let's suppose you have copied these portions, you can write it from this order only, A, B, C. And let's suppose now what you can do, you can, sorry, that is not a single operation. On single operation you can pop some elements from string S. Pop means from starting only. So you can pop this. And on second operations, let's suppose you have popped this B. Third operations, let's suppose you have popped this C also. So, and now on third operations, you want to write some things to your answer. So from S, you are not allowed to write directly to the answer. You are not allowed to write directly to the answer. What you can do? If your T has some value, if you have something to your T, then on that case, pop some elements. So that is the pop from last. So on S, we are from S to T, we are appending characters from S to T in the forward, in first to last. But on from T to answer, when you are trying to add it, you are only allowed to add from T only, right? From T only. You are not allowed to add directly from the answer. So you first have to, so that is not allowed. You first have to push the elements to the answer, to T, and post that you can pop it and you can add it to the answer. So I can add a C here. Sorry, not C. Let's suppose you have C only. So T is only ABC. Now you don't want to push anything to T. Whatever the elements, you want to write something to the answer. So you can pop this C and write it to your answer. Now let's suppose on the next go, you want to add one things. You want to add one more character from S to T. Then you have D. So this C is already popped. Now let's suppose you want to write something to your answer. So what is the opportunity? You can pop this D and write it. Let's suppose on the second go you want to write one more. So you can write this B. Let's suppose on the third go you want to push something. So you push this E. And now on the next go, you don't have any opportunity. You have to write it, and after that you can write this. So that is your resultant answer. So like this way, there are multiple ways you can add at a, let's suppose you have add till this point and post that you have popped it. Let's suppose you have add till this point and post that you have start popping. Let's suppose you have popped just a single, or maybe double, or maybe like 3, or until your T is going to become empty. So you have multiple opportunities. And like this way, whatever the answer you are able to generate, you have to take the minimum of them. So minimum is nothing but lexicographically smallest. And I guess you guys is definitely aware of lexicographically smallest if you are following our playlist from last 2 to 3 goes. Lexicographically smallest means if two characters, one is let's suppose ABC and another one is let's suppose BCA. So which one is lexicographically smallest? You have to set 2 pointers to these characters, and the first point where both have first delta. So this is the first point where we got the delta. So now on that, who is the smaller? This one is the smaller. So I can write it. This is the smallest. This is the smallest one. Lexicographically smallest one compared to this. Yes, agree guys, agree. So that is the definitions of lexicographically smallest. Now Now if you can, now if we can quickly go to some of the example test case like ZZA. For ZZA, let's draw it to the OneNote at the simultaneously. Let's suppose we have a ZZA, that is the S they have given to us, and let's suppose we have a TMT and we have an answer. So if we want to build the lexicographically smallest of them, my target should be in the given S, who are the smallest, in the given S, who are the smallest, I will try to push that to my answer. Can I able to push an A to my answer? Okay, so you want to push an answer. So you have to first make it added to your T. So to make it added from the T, I definitely have to push this ZZA also, because from the forward we are able to, from S to T the migration is from forward, and from T to answer the migration is from backward. Then only we are going to have our A to our in hand, so that we can push to the answer. So on the first three operations we just have to make the migrations from S to T, so that we have A available to the very end of my T, and we are able to push it to my answer, and post that what are the characters, I can pop the ZZs and I can add them. So it's simple. So A ZZZ is the smallest one. Now we have this BAC and BDDA. So let's try to build something. So one is like BAC and another is they have given us BDDA. I will try to take both of their answer, T answer yes. Now let's try to do that for both of the test cases. So I will do the in parallel. So I have written, I will do sequential only. First let's try for BAC. So in BAC, who is the smaller, who is the most smallest in my current test? So A is smaller. So to make our A available at the very end of my T, I have to make at least A to the last. Now I have my A is available, I can pop it and to add it to my answer, then I have already done till this point, right? I have done till this point. So till this this portion is done. Whoever has pushed to T, so we don't have any opportunity to push back to S. So that is also, so from S to T this is not allowed. Oh shit. From S to T it is not allowed. You are only allowed to do from forward. From S to T you are allowed. From T to S, sorry guys, my bad. So from T to S it is not allowed. So reverse push you can't do. So B is now in your T, which you can use only for reverse popping to the answer. So now I have encountered a C. So in my S and T, so I have done my job till this point, because till this I have popped all the A's and I have append to the answer, and who are in my T are bound to liable to go from reverse. So let's me just quickly take a big example test case where it has multiple, let's suppose A's, R, N, then A, then let's suppose B, then A, then this B, right? So now I know A are smallest. So in T and let's suppose I have an answer. So why I skip that example test case, because that is the smallest one and the critical one. So for that you first understand intuitions. So here we are trying to build intuitions, generic intuitions, which you will only able to get it if you can write a bigger test case, because on this you will not feel the gist of the correctness of it. So I am take a bigger example. Post that if you can jump on that, you will understand it like a cakewalk. So that's the reason. So my target is who are the smallest of my given string. Can I write it to my answer initially? So who are the smallest? A. So if can I write 3 A's like this, then that is the bound to be the smallest. Now to get this first A, I have to write it till this point. Post that only I can discard it and push to my answer. Yes. To get this A, I need R, N and A. Post that only I am able to discard. And for B, and for this A, I am able to take this B and post that I am able to discuss. So to get till the last smallest elements, I have already processed till this point of my S. Post that we can maybe repeat the same things, but whoever in my T, I am only just able, I have only have the liberty to push them in the reverse order. So whom I left with? P, Q, R, N and B. So for them I have only allowed to add to my answer in the reverse fashions. No other options is available. And we can do the same plug in play to the next part of the given string. Yes, agree guys, but there is a small catch. Rather than, if for B it will work, but let's suppose it is a bigger character. Let's suppose it is a P. Now if you are going to play the same game, so your character, your T having P, Q, R and B, and you know they are going to be for sure reverse. They are going to go to for sure reverse. And now for B, do I have any B in from where I am looking? From these portions, because these portions we have already done our job. They are going to push to the reverse order only because they are in part of T only, right? So on my right portion, I will only have the liberty to check any B. Do we have? No. So that means for B, C, D, E till before of P, we don't have anyone. So we are going to populate this P to the answer. We are going to populate this P to my answer. Is that correct? Rather than populating this P to the answer, if I am going to pop it and populate this B, then that is the smallest. Agree guys, right? You guys are totally agreeing on this. Then my string becomes AAAB. So which one is smaller? And AAP. Out of them, who is the smaller? AAB is the smaller. So always we have to search for the smallest one. So there is a small monotonous tax. If you have solved this particular topic's monotonous tax, so you will definitely get it. So rather than starting blindly from P, so we know we have already processed for them. And they are going to get into my answer in the reverse order only. That is bound to going to be happen. But if we have someone to take from the reverse order, or my reverse need to reverse, or the reverse or present in my T, who are smaller than the current from where we are starting. Let's suppose on the current portions, whoever are present, all are greater than B, no? Because all the B's are in my need to reverse portions. The portions which is bound to get in the reverse way to be print. Then we have to consider the characters to put to my answer until we have encountered someone to my reverse who are bigger of my current one. So for B, I will definitely pop it and will add it to my answer. Yes. Now N is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Okay, this N also bigger. So I should add this N. Then M, N, O, P, Q, R. So R is the bigger one. So on the reverse one, when we encounter the characters who are bigger of my P, then I am going to take my P only. Because if I am going to add here A, B, then N, then R, then P, then it is going to be a larger lexicography compared to whom? A, B, N, P, R, right? Because P is coming faster than R. Or earlier than R in A to Z sequence. Totally agree, guys. So now if we are going to try to understand the example test case where we left it. So for B, we have this B in our T, or need to reverse strings, because that is going to be printed for reverse. Now we encountered a C here. Do we have any ones to in our need to reverse stack, or whatever the data structure, monotonous stacks we have at, do we have from the backward, do we have anyone who are smaller than the current characters, then we have to reverse them. Need to pop them. So I have popped this B, and now my this completely is empty. Then you can take your C, and that is the answer for this BAC, because we are able to make it ABC, which is the most smallest. Now let's try to take the same intuition, same guidance. Let's do it. Who is the smallest? Okay, present at the very last. So everyone is going to be pushed to my character only, and this is popped, added. Now we have to consider from its right only the same things. Do I have anyone from my lights? No one. So whoever in my T is going to bound to be in reverse order to be added to my answer. So ADDB. So now you can check for both of your example test case. BAC is ABC, BDDA is ADDB. Agree? Totally agreeing, guys. So I guess I have already discussed the intuitions on the high levels on the sample example iterations only. But let's try to make a pseudocode altogether so that you can get a better gist. So we definitely need the last index of the smallest characters of the current window that we are considering. So what is the data structure we need? We definitely need a default dict of, that is bound to be a default dict of whom? Default dict of DQ I am going to take. So why DQ I will going to explain. Now what I can do, I will blindly iterate for I in range N, and I am going to do what I can do? I can do dd of s of I. So that is the character. It is present at which index? It is present at which index? At ith index. I'm going to add it to my answer. So for character to index list is ready. Character to index list. So what it's pointing, let's suppose we have multiple s, then we have some characters a, then let's suppose another a. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So a is pointing, a has a dq, which is basically having the index where a has occurred, 0, 2 and 4. Yes. So that is the data structure is ready to us. Now actually the game. So we definitely have to iterate. We can start from 0. We have to iterate from n. Now what we need? We need a things that is need to reverse. We need a need to reverse things that is nothing but our t. We can start with the empty things, because we are going to pop it from the back. So we have defined a stack kind of data structure. And what we need? We definitely need an answer, right? We definitely need an answer initialized with empty string. Yes, this all and one more things. We are going to scan from a to z. We are going to scan from a to z, because if there are a present in the given string, then we have to do, we will always have to try to push all the a's to the start of our answer, So I can start with the current variables to at 97, because that is the ASCII of a, right? Agree guys? Now we can write a while I less than n loop. And now what's the game on the pseudocode on high levels? What actually we are doing? What plugin play we are playing here? So can you guys tell me? So I definitely need the character. So the current characters, how I am going to get the character? It is nothing but my chr of current, because I am starting from 97. Yes, I got the character. Now I have initially first I have to check it if my dd of this character exists or not. That is of if my lane of this particular character, if this particular characters has some what can I say, has some indexes, this indexes, this characters has occurred. Do we have that things? Do we have that things at all? So that we first have to check. Now if that is so, now we definitely want to know which index it has occurred last, because till that we have to iterate. And till that we have to iterate and push them to my need to reverse. But before of them, if the characters, if we already have some lane of my need to reverse, if we already have some things to my need to reverse, and if I have something and my need to reverse of -1 seems to be a smaller than or equals to the current character, you can take obviously a odd of, because that is as characters, it is not maybe able to check it. You can take an ordinal. So now if that is so, then you have to add them who are the smaller from my need to reverse. You can add that plus equals to your need to reverse dot pop. You can pop them and add them to your answer. Right guys? Agree? Because that we just saw. So if we have someone in our t or need to reverse, then we will pop them who are smaller than the current from this index, from the current index where we are starting. If we have my current, whoever I am going to consider, if we have someone in my need to reverse who are smaller than of that character, then we have to just add them to our answer by popping them from my need to reverse. Right? These things we definitely have to do. Now we are in very good state to run a j loop for j in range. From where to where, guys? I just told from I to I am from which I am interested to get the last index where the smallest character. Who is the smallest character here? The current character. I will ask my dd of my this character. Can you get the dq of it? And from my dq, I am asking the -1. That is the last index where this character has occurred. I have to iterate till this point. So in Python, last one is exclusive, so I am going to check it till this. Now if I am able to do, what I am able to do, tell me, if my s of j, the characters that we are considering, is equals to my character, then it is directly going, because that is the smallest characters in the current window we have it. From this window where we are starting, we have it. Then directly add it to your answer. Else where it is going to go? It is going to go to need to reverse. Yes guys, it is going to go to need to reverse dot append Tell me guys, why it is going to go? Here it is going to go of S of j, S of j. Yes, yes, totally agree. And as we considered the index from smallest to the largest, right? Smallest to the largest. So this S of j, where we have considered it, this S of j, where we considered it, as we are iterating from left to right. So its first index in my default DQ, can we omit it? Can I omit it? The first index, the very smallest index of the DQ, where it has first occurred, can I omit it? Yes, definitely guys, because we are iterating from left to right, and we have either appended to my answer, that means its job has done, or either append to my need to reverse, because that is going to be for reverse for sure. For that we are not going to consider it to the answer. So I will definitely pop it from where? From dd of the character is whom? S of j. I can do a pop left, because that is the smallest character, smallest first index. I can pop it because from there only I have considered it. Yes, agree guys, totally agree. So that's the reasons I am using a pop left. So that's the reasons I have used a DQ to do it in big O of one time. Agree guys, totally agree. I guess you are. Now what else? I think the job is done. That's the things we have to do. If we are able to maintain the entire things, finally what we have it, maybe we have left with some of the characters in my need to reverse. So while len of need to reverse, if we have it, then I can add this answer plus equals to home need to reverse of. Now I don't have any opportunity, right? I have just add them from back to front, and finally I can return my answer. Yes guys, so the problem and the high level intuitions is as simple as that, but I personally feels like getting the intuitions, like we have the opportunity to get all the smallest characters present in the current window or the given window. We have to consider them to, we have to anyhow add to my answer to all of its occurrence, and from them wherever the last index it has occurred, I have to take all of them, so that when I am going to get it, I have just add and then just add to my t, and just after that I have popped it from my t and added to my answer. Like this way, the extra characters that we got to get the last index of the smallest characters present in the window, right? So for them they are kind of useless. We only have to opportunity to take them in the reverse order. But there is a small check. The window that we have considered till now from the new window that we are going to consider, right? The new window that we are going to consider, if that on that window the smallest character is present, the smallest character that we are able to fetch from the window is greater than some of the characters from need to reverse ka back. We have some characters who are smaller than the new Windows characters that we are going to consider. Then we definitely have to just do the operations, just do the second operations from T to answer populations, so that characters who are smaller of the new window, who are smaller in present in my T or need to reverse block, from my T I can just pop them and add them to my answer, so that the things are in always lexicographically smallest. Now we can quickly do the code iterations. There is nothing on the code iterations. I have already discussed in details. So dd in default dict of dq len of answer for I in range n. dd we are appending s of I to s of I dot append I. Yes. And current of answer we are doing need to reverse of I 97, right? I 97. This empty. This is for home answer 1 2 3 4. I we are starting from 0, and this is the need to reverse empty. Answer is empty string, current is 97. The all variables default initializations I have that. Now while I less than n, characters we got it chr of current, because we are taking its 97, that is of ASCII. Now if my len of dd of characters, we should have some things to play the game. So if this characters is altogether not present, then we don't have to do anything. Then we can move to the next characters. That is, if we are 97, let's suppose A is altogether not present, we have to search for B, so we have +1 it. But if it is present, right, then there is some game we have to play. So which game you have to play? That we just play in our one note. So while len of need to reverse, do we have any? And ord of, without ord is Python allowing to do this. So let me just quickly check if this is also allowed. I think the model language should be, not sure if it is able to check. Oh, nice. So I am also like kind of same hunch, it should be able to check it, right? So it is going to be SE for sure. So now what we can do now, if len of need to reverse, do we have anything? Yes. And if the last characters is present, it is smallest or equivalent of the characters, is equivalent to the characters. Then on that case, please do them reverse. Please add them to your answer and pop them to your need to reverse. Return it. Else, now not else, like now the last index till this point we have to consider is nothing but the dd of this particular characters ka last index, dd of this particular characters ka last index, right? That is of -1, dd of character of -1. Now we have to iterate for j in range from I to last index plus 1. Now s of j is nothing but my characters. If it is matched to my characters, then I am going to directly add to my answer, else I am appending to my need to reverse, right? And I am popping that characters from our default, because for them we have already considered either I have already added to my answer or I have considered to my need to reverse. From there it has only opportunity to go to the answer go to the answer only. There is no other opportunity. So till this the window has already we have considered. So that's the reason I have also flushing them out from my default. So that's the way I am achieving not quadratic complexity of big of n complexity only. Now I will discuss the time complexity in details, but that is the beauty. On this line the beauty is happening. This line the beauty is happening actually. Now I have now if you have some things you have done, now till where you have considered it, you have already done the iterations till last index plus 1. So your next I we are iterating a for loop, while loop for I less than n. So that's the reason I am iterating a while loop, not a for loop. So that I can do a distinct jumps, not a strategic, so that I am able to do a strategic jumps, not a monotonous jumps, right? For loop is for monotonous jumps only, and while loop is for strategic jumps. So I am doing a strategic jumps from last index plus 1. I am pushing it to my I, stored it to my I, right? So like this way, when I have done till this entire iterations, if someone is still my need to reverse, I am just popping them from my answer, because then they are going to be in straightforward going to be add to my answer by in the reverse pop, and I am adding to my answer. Yes, that's it guys, that's it. So now we can quickly discuss the time complexity for this particular algo. So on time complexity, you guys may be thinking it is going to be taking off another for loop inside it, that is going to be a kind of nested, and there is a while loop iterating, and there is a while loop here. So it is kind of, maybe you can think of big of n square for sure, but it is of big of. Now see guys, how many times the characters is going to be visited. How many times the characters is going to be visited. So when I am going to visit them from, let's suppose ZZA, I am push this A to my answer, but this ZZ is in my need to reverse. So they have visited one times, and another times this characters is going to be visited when I am just popping from my need to reverse. So how many times it is going to be visited? A particular characters is twice only, at max twice only. So the time complexity is on that case 2n. So that is the beauty of monotonous text. So I personally feels like graph DP there is a pattern. If you are able to understand the patterns, then maybe like 70 to 80% problems you are able to solve. But this monotonous text, there is an intuition. So no matter if you solve 95, 99 question, maybe on 100 number question you are going to start, because there is a strong intuition is working in monotonous text. So identifying it is a monotonous text problem, and applying the monotonous text is kind of like literally a difficult problem for sure. Now space complexity. Tell me guys, space complexity. We are using a default dict. We are using some current answer, need to reverse. This need to reverse is actually the point where it can grow as big of n. Yes, that's only like it can grow as big of n, and this is kind of a how many keys we should have, 26 keys, and for them we are basically storing all the indexes. So it is also kind of big of n, so we can write is big of 2n. So that's all about the time complexity and space complexity guys. Now if we can quickly check the analyzer of Leetcode, I should definitely it should also give some linear complexity for sure. Server is busy. Can you give me? Yes, it is of big of n for sure. It is of big of n for sure, the time complexity. And on space perspective, can you guys give me some good things that is of big of n for sure? So at final time and space complexity in big O terms, it is of big of n and big of n only. But write it in kind of detailed granularity and explain these things explicitly, that every characters in our S is going to be visited twice. So the time complexity actual ones is big of 2n. No matter how many nesting I am doing here, I am visiting all the characters at max twice. So that is the time complexity of this particular algo, and that is the space complexity we have it. And I know guys, it is a kind of medium hard problems and getting the intuition. So that's the reason I'm literally repeatedly stating these intuitions kind of problems in our next levels of difficulty in an interview. So if you are not able to form the intuitions to an interview, then there is kind of a bad luck, you have to say. So how we can make, so intuitions problem, there is no cheat sheet altogether. The number of times you are going to do practice, the more number of practice problems you are going to solve, you are going to get the better grip on this kind of topic. So try to solve as many problems as you can do, guys. So I think you guys are able to understand till from intuitions building, the detailed whiteboarding and the entire code iteration that we have done. And if you guys are able to do so I am definitely request to you guys in repeated times. So please do subscribe to our channel, and please share the videos to your friend circle who are also preparing for top product based company and brushing up their DSS skills. And please turn on the notifications so that when we are going to live to our next video, you guys are going to get the notification as soon as possible. So that's it, guys. That's it for today. Happy weekend. Let's meet tomorrow with another beautiful question. Bye, guys. Bye.